So, yeah, this is going to be something. Okay, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I am not an artist by any means, not even a little bit. And I've never claimed to be. So when I take 3D art, start fiddle faddling with it, it's because I have no idea how to create. Say, but you're not being creating it on your own. You're not. It's not your art you're creating. You're just using this 3D rendered thing that was built off of other people's hard work. By the way, everybody's skill in art, by the way, is built off of, comes from a place of other people's work. So, or 90%. There's a few people out there who are truly creative, I suppose, but there's not many. There's not many at all. The majority of artists out there. I'm sorry, I'm insulting all of you artists who think you're super creative, but if you didn't go to, unless you've never been to a museum or saw an art book in your life or took an art class, you probably got inspiration from other people's work. So there you go. But anyway, that's my opinion, which is probably worth about as much as my bank account is right now, which is not a whole heck of a lot. But that said, I am trying to implement my art skills. Is it art? In creating a 3D homepage. And if you don't know what I mean by that, basically, I have this homepage. This is my homepage right now. And it's just a picture. Yes, it's 3D rendered. So get over it. This is my 3D home screen now. The one I don't have. I'm trying to build, which, by the way, no, this is not it. This is my stadium I built, which, by the way, I think came out pretty good considering. But I'm actually going to try to utilize that in my stadium. But that said, that is not what I'm working on. I'm trying to get this something or this something. I know they're all over the place. To eventually look similar or in some way like that image I just showed you. It's not going to be an identical match. I'm not trying to get an identical match. I just want something similar. So I'll download some fantasy aspect buildings and I'm trying to learn the process of building a 3D terrain. So I'm watching videos.
Scale down your brush size and opacity.
Going with
and some smaller features all around. Third, choose smooth height, get a bigger brush, and then smooth your whole terrain. Repeat that until you're happy. We need some assets, so I dropped 2 links for you below in the description. First, add the low poly environment asset from the asset store. Next, add the starter assets first person controller. Back in Unity, open a package manager, click on my assets, then search low poly environment. Click import to project, you'll get another pop-up, then click import again. Now do the same thing for the first person controller. Go ahead and delete your main camera and open up the starter assets folder. Find the nested player unpack prefab and drag it into your scene. It has this mobile UI by default. If you don't need that, I suggest just deleting the UI canvas and the UI event systems inside the prefab. Now you can select the parent and freely position it on the terrain surface. At this point, you should be able to press play and freely walk around. Now let's make this terrain a bit less ugly. This is really important, so open up the Polytope Studio folder, then inside environments, there's a folder named SRP. Open that up and double-click the most recent URP file here, then click Import to convert to URP materials. Click on your terrain, then select Paint Texture. Click Edit Terrain Layers, Add Layer, and select Ground Layer 2 for the grass. Now let's add some 3D grass. Go to your Paint Details tab, go into Edit Details, and add a texture. For the detail texture, I'm going to choose PT Grass 02. Add this, then get a big brush and paint over the entire area that you want grass. But you might notice it doesn't fill in past a certain point, so that's because we need to go to terrain settings and increase the detailed distance. Don't go too overboard here. I think 150 to 200 is okay so we don't kill performance. Click back on our grass and edit details, make the min and max width and a little bit smaller, We can also slide up our detailed density here until it looks nice and full, maybe somewhere around 2.5. Then choose a light and dark color for your grass to fit your project. Now if I go into play mode, our ground color doesn't really match our grass, so we can fix this by going to our paint terrain tab, selecting our grass layer, then choosing a color tint.
So here's a weird thing. This is a plane. It's just a plane. But I try to put in a terrain, but notice how they have the exact same settings in the transforms, but one is gargantuanly huge and one is not. So I don't know what I'm doing different there. That one is gigantic and one is tiny. I want to use a terrain here, but I have, what is that? Okay. I'm using Bezier too. I'm trying to get these clues. I'm looking at all the different places. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, this is like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, how do I explain it? This is out of my wheelhouse. I'm just saying. If I insert a terrain object, it is much larger than the plane object you mentioned. So Bezier, I'm looking at YouTube, I've even tried MS Copilot. But honestly, I don't think I don't feel like this should be overly complicated. I'm not looking for something super fancy. You're not going to be able to run around in it. It's just going to be a cool 3D scene. Think Watcher of Realms. Kind of just like cool 3D scene. We got some characters sitting on the screen. Maybe if I have characters even sitting on the screen. I'm thinking it's just going to be buildings. Some people would say that's a little overkill. Well, really, I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? I mean, if I can't create a basic single cell 3D scene, what does that say about me? I mean, that's a pretty basic thing. I mean, come on. Scale down the terrain easier. Okay. Wow, that's good. You're absolutely right about terrain. Unity's default terrain is 500 by 500, which is massive compared to what you need for a small navigation scene. Select your terrain in the hierarchy in the inspector. Find the terrain component, gear icon next to the terrain. Is there a gear icon? Where's a gear icon? Click, okay, find the inspector. In the inspector, okay, so I'm in the inspector. Find the terrain component. That's this one. Yeah. Click the gear icon next to terrain. There isn't one, but there's that thing. Is it this thing? Set click resolution. Oh, maybe it's just telling me to expand it. No. This one? Nope. Properties? Maybe. What did I do? I just popped it out, is all I did. Click set resolution. Where is set resolution? Is that an option? Is it generate? Oh, gosh dang it. What did I just do? Set resolution. There is no gear icon on the terrain component or set resolution. See terrain data field that says new terrain. Does it say new terrain? Next to new terrain 1. Huh? Oh, right here? Look at the terrain component. You can see terrain data field that says new terrain 1. Okay, say that. Click on the circle icon. Yeah, got that. With the terrain data selected, look in the inspector. Huh? Click on the circle icon next to terrain. Did that. This will select terrain data asset in your project window. You should see terrain settings including width, length, and height. No. Now, okay, YouTube, get out of the background. What do you got going on here? What the heck, man? Don't see width, length, height. It says you should see this. I'm like, well, do you see it? Because if anybody else sees it, please inform me what I'm not seeing. This is a super simple approach. It says, don't bother with that nonsense. Just delete it. It's like, it's over your head, man. And it's too complicated. I don't want to deal with it. Just delete it and do something else. I can make it look like grass. Am I okay with that, though? What if I want mountains in the background? How do I make it cool? That's all I'm saying. What if I want cool? I'm torn on the giving up plan. Bezzy is telling me to give up. So you don't need it. You're just navigating. But I'm like, but that's not cool. I want cool. I want it to look cool. Well, maybe it is too complicated. Somebody with skill can, or I can mess with that later. Maybe just do a basic 3D terrain. I don't know, Bezzy. I don't think the attitude is very good though. All right, all right. Right click on the 3D home screen hierarchy, 3D plane, payment ground, set its plane. That's all you need. 33. Make it look like grass. Go to assets, materials, folder, creative. I have that. I think I have a grass. What is this one? One of these is grass. Because I put grass down already on one of my football field grass. Yeah. Do I want football field grass? I don't know. What's the kind of grass I should put down? In the inspector base map, click the color box, choose green, drag the material from project window onto your plane in the scene. Yeah, but that's not grass. The color green is not grass. That is just a plain. I mean, all right, let's just use this. I can change it later. Regular name it, material grass in the inspector base map. Click the box, choose green. So if I go here, if I just drop this up here, can I do that? Oh, sorry, no, not that one. This one. It's like a field grass. That's not like real outdoorsy kind of cool grass. Whatever. And then I have I have a hard time doing things in generics. Like when you take a class at school, you do everything in generics, right? They give you this generic business plan thing, and you should do a business. They give you Joe and Jane counting apples as generics, just things that don't really apply to something you actually want to do. And I have a hard time mentally working with generics. You know, hey, you can do this and then just replace it later. It's like, well, yeah, but it's garbage. I don't know. I have trouble with the theory of garbage. That's why the YouTube guys, they create cool stuff, but they could, like I said, that's kind of over my head. So
drag around colors until it visually matches the bottom of your grass. Next, let's go into the Paint Trees tab, click Edit Trees, and add a tree. For the tree prefab, I'm going to use the PT Pine Tree 03 Green, and be very careful to select the prefab with the solid blue box icon next to it. Now we can use this awesome terrain feature named Mass Place Trees. I'm going to choose 10,000 trees, then click Place, and you'll randomly distribute a ton of trees all across your terrain. Now I don't think our trees match our color palette, so I'm going to edit the tree prefab. Double-click the prefab to open it up in the scene view, and click on the game object ending with LOD0, then open up the shader in the inspector. Here we can customize the color of our tree. To match our scene, I use the color picker and choose a light and dark part of the grass for our top and bottom color. While we're here, let's also add a capsule collider component so that we can't run through the trees. You can slide down the radius so that it's only around the trunk to give it a good hitbox. To improve performance, click on the parent object here and slide the cold LOD group to the left. I would recommend setting this to around 6 or 7% for good performance. Next, go to Window, Rendering, and dock your lighting panel. And under environment, I'll choose the skybox named PT Skybox Matte. Then I'll check fog, and for the color, a tip here is to use the color picker again, and choose a color low on the horizon to match the color palette of your project. I'm going to dial down the intensity just a bit to about 0.002, and that's looking pretty good. At this point, I'm going to add a few more objects in our paint tree panel, like rocks, mushrooms, and poppies, and using a brush size of about 200 or so, you can click to paint on some of these objects around your player. I'm also going to pull this glowing ruined rock into our scene, and to showcase this, let's make one last amazing change to finish out the scene. Click your main camera, then check post-processing. In your global volume, select aces for tone mapping, then set your bloom threshold to 1.3 and intensity to around 3. Next, add a color adjustment post-processing effect. I'm going to check
I don't know.
post-exposure
It's just,
and turn it up a bit.
I don't like
And at
what
this point,
Bezzy's
we're
telling me
done.
to do.
Let's check out our final demo for this beautiful open world nature scene.
I mean, this looks great,
Remember
what
to
he's doing.
subscribe,
I mean,
like,
it's
comment, to
way more
push
complicated than I
notifications
need,
after
true.
videos, and I'll see
I
you
don't
on
really
next
need something
Peace.
massive like this. I just need a single cell,
I've seen
a
plenty of
single
power banks
grid
over my
space.
15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite.
So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that's already this small, is pretty clever.
Let's see if there's a... Is this how to create it? No, that's just... See, this here is way more complex than I'd like, but something, I mean, like this is a multiple area thing, right? So I don't need all this. I just need one single image cell area, but I don't know. Did anybody actually give any tips to these people? They ask questions and they don't even answer. It's like, it's very cool, but are you going to answer our questions? Oh, this is 2D, D&D stuff.
The big question we get is, for those that are unaware, due to change to how Fantasygrounds handles assets, images, maps, tokens, and all that, it used to be you had to...
Welcome to Crimson Hollow, a place where magic is real. My name's Courtney, and I'm the artist/developer behind this project. I'm making a cozy fantasy game about a mysterious town that's hidden from the rest of the world. Crimson Hollow is still in development, but is available now for wishlisting on Steam. Today I'll be sharing my development process with a special focus on art and visual design. You'll see how I turn my sketches into game environments with movement, light, and just a little bit of magic. Overgrown and whimsical. And the only way to give players this kind of freedom of design is by creating a customizable home from the ground up.
Yuck.
Over a year ago, I created the first player home design, and at the time, I made the kind of cozy home I would want to live in as a player. I got a lot of great feedback about that first cottage, but there was still room for improvement. The next
I say yuck, not because it's ugly. Yuck because it's a lot. Art overwhelms me. It does. Art
after
just.
some planning,
It's like I'm looking at a foreign language and I'm trying to learn Japanese.
walls, roofs, trim, windows, and doors. Thanks to my earlier designs, I'd already laid some solid groundwork, but I still had a lot of ground to cover. I began the process in Photoshop by laying out a construction line for the base house. As you can see, I'm using a grid on a layer below my drawings. I always use the same isometric grid to ensure that all game assets in Crimson Hollow are drawn at the same angle. As a reference, I scaled up the size of the original cottage and placed it on a layer above the grid. After completing the base cottage, it was time to add in the customization options like different doors, windows, and roof shapes. This part required some organization to make sure the different parts of the home were seen on the correct layers. It was also important that I named and grouped layers very carefully so that things would be less confusing for me later when I would bring the cottage into Unity. As you can see, the only colors I'm using on the cottage are very light or near white tones. This is because I want to be able to adjust the colors of the cottage when I bring it into Unity later. Images in Unity can only go darker than its existing color. It can never go lighter. So for example, if I import a red image into Unity, I can only make it a darker red. But if I import a white image, then I can make it any color I want. There may be another workaround for this through code, but this was the simplest approach for me as an artist. So I trusted the process and treated the cottage like a monochromatic painting, using mostly one color, which was white. You'll notice I'm using very light hues of pinks, yellows, and blues in certain parts of the cottage. This is called hue variation, which creates visual interest and is a stylistic choice I like to use for all the assets in Crimson Hollow. References also play a huge part in my creative process. I'll use any image online that inspires me, but my favorite references are of dollhouses and miniatures. This part of the process was a lot of fun, but also took a long time, as I soon became completely absorbed in creating as many customization options as I could think of. By the end, I created 2 roof types, 6 windows, 6 doors, and additional accents, such as blemishes, bricks, plants, and roof turrets. Throughout this process, I imported several test versions of the cottage into Unity, just to make sure I didn't come across any unexpected issues. My only concern was that there were too many layers in the file, which made things a little chaotic. So after combining some layers, I trimmed the cottage down to 41 layers within 6 groups. If you'd like to download the full Photoshop file of the cottage, it's available on my Patreon. Soon the cottage was ready for Unity, and I imported the file in a large Photoshop document format so that it would retain all of the layers I'd organized earlier. Then I created a very basic user interface to handle cottage customization, sorting the decoration menus into the 5 categories I mentioned before. Each button in the menu has a cottage editor script attached to it. What this script does is it takes the sprite renderer component on a game object and sets it to a predetermined color. So, for example, the brown roof button gets the sprite renderer of the roof and changes it to the color brown when the button is clicked. With this logic in place, color possibilities became endless. After cottage customization was working, there was still something else a player home needed to come alive, and that was movement. It's easy for top-down games to appear flat and lifeless, especially when there's minimal movement happening. Besides the falling snow and the moving player, there wasn't any other life happening on the screen. To fix this, I started by creating some winter plants that I could animate to simulate the movement of wind. I used skeletal animations to make the flowers move, which involved adding bones to the different parts of the flower, and then using Unity's animation tool to record the flower moving. Animating the trees was a little bit more complicated because I didn't want the trunk to move with the leaves, so I kept the trunk as a separate game object. I think this should come in handy later on down the road if I ever add seasonal changes to the game. This is because if I change the color of the white leaves, it won't affect the trunk. And as you've seen before, changing the color of a white image in Unity is pretty simple. My favorite thing to animate was a waterfall. This was done entirely in Photoshop. I don't have formal training in hand-drawn animation, but I found that I really enjoyed this process. It actually took me an entire day to draw all of the different layers and frames of the animation, but the entire process was extremely satisfying. It's been a while since I made hand-drawn animations, and creating this waterfall helped me remember how much fun it can be to step outside of my artistic comfort zone.
Really? I like to step outside my programmatic comfort zone, but
Despite the challenges and the time invested, seeing all of the
art,
elements come to life in
art is cool. I can appreciate it, but I
look forward to sharing more
I
Crimson Hollow.
can't. I don't know what it is. I just, that part of my brain doesn't work.
Crimson Hollow
It's
seems like
broken.
your kind of game,
Or maybe
or if you just want to
maybe I was never given that part of my brain. God just said, yeah, we'll give him a little bit more on the programming side. It doesn't need this art piece. We'll just toss that.
And while you're there, also check out the 30-second teaser trailer, which is currently only available on Steam. Before we wrap things up, I'd like to give a special shout out to the Roaring Newt, a very talented artist who created a beautiful diorama of the first player's cottage. They actually modeled it in Blender, printed it out, painted it, and even gave it lights and smoke. Their work is absolutely stunning, so please go check out the entire video. Next, I'd like to take a moment to express my
That I
deepest
could do. I could
gratitude
paint.
to the
I can
local
paint it.
patrons for
But again,
their
not my
unwavering
creation.
support. Your contributions are helping so much to fund the development of Crimson Hollow.
Oh,
I also want to recognize the
she's done pretty good.
dedication
64,000
provided by the
subscribers.
Our Discord community through their participation in our monthly character design challenges. Your creativity and passion continues to inspire me. Looking ahead, I'm excited to share that our upcoming community challenge starts in July. The official prompt will come out on July 1st on Discord. But as always, everyone is welcome to participate, including but not limited to 2D and 3D artists, writers, musicians, and all creators. Thank you all once again for being a part of my journey. Your support and enthusiasm fuels my dedication to bring Crimson Hollow to life. Stay tuned for more updates. And I'll
But
see you
did
in the
they?
next video.
It's been over a year since this came out. I don't know if this Crimson Hollow is still a thing. I think it might be dead. Let's go see. No user reveals, views coming soon. Any feedback? Any new anything? Starting January 1st. This. Yeah, I don't see. There's no anything here actually. You'd think there'd be like some kind of a developers page, something where they'd like say, "Hey, we're still doing this. It's still in progress." Huh. A lot of great ideas, but it's not anywhere near done. Don't know. But yeah, her cozy little thing is. It looks fine. I just want to have it look. I just want to throw some trees down on a terrain. All right, maybe I can do. I do this in a flat zone? It has to be big enough to fit the stadium. Okay, so my stadium, well, the area needs to fit my stadium. Do I make my stadium smaller? What scale do I set the plane at to put the stadium in the middle? So this is kind of what I'm going for. So Watcher of Realms. I mean, I'm not building the Watcher of Realms scene, but I want this kind of scene. That's the thing. Oh, golly. They're always doing updates, and I gotta wait for it. But if you know how the Watcher of Realms scene looks, I don't think it should be that big of a performance hit, right? I mean, it's a one-screen thing. You can't do anything. It's still 2D. You got one camera that slides slightly because they're able to add to it or whatever. In fact, I think they added to it over time. I don't actually think that the scene was always that big. I think it was individually one scene, and then they just added to it to expand its area. It's dang it, stop it. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this thing here. Oops. Anyway. Come on, Watcher of Realms. Are you stuck? What the heck? So much for using Watcher of Realms as an example. But there's other games that do something similar. Maybe I'm asking for too much. It just seems like it's not that hard. And I feel like, how hard is it to just create a terrain? All right, let's see. Let's go out here. And then I'm going to go here and go Watcher of Realms, main screen image. But not these. These are title screens. These are loading screens. Let's see, images. I have images of all the... Ah, here we go. Something like this. See how this guy is? Now, they've zoomed in. Maybe they cut stuff out. This might have been like the early days version of it. And they've, over time, just made it bigger and bigger and bigger. But because the camp has gotten a lot larger than that. And that's, I kind of like that idea. Like I could add on new buildings and it just becomes a bigger game area. Like maybe I end up adding, maybe you start off with just I don't know, some of your basic parts, and then you can slowly upgrade, maybe make a fancier stadium. Once I once I start getting my own, like, I can start doing better art and stuff over time. So these are like extra areas that you can go to. Those are areas in the game. But see, this is like the home screen camp, but that's like way back. Or it's a version of it. It's just a piece of the camp. Do they show it here? Yeah, this is the story trailer. That's not going to be what I want. Nope. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you like going to install it or what? Sheesh. Dude, that guy's huge. Too big for bodybuilding. Haha. Is that possible? All right. So this is essentially the camp, but it's not the whole thing. And apparently there is no... I want to show you what I'm talking about, what I'm trying to accomplish within my measly art skills, meager art skills. Kind of thought the wallpapers, maybe the wallpapers has one of the camp. These are similar, but not quite. I don't know. Maybe I'm not overthinking it. Is there really? Maybe there's a. You know, throw some trees down. I have this visual in my head, and it's really hard for me not to actually want to try, because that's me. I always want to try. How much time am I willing to put into a scene, a simple page? Because it takes about 10 minutes to put together a homepage. It's really not that much. It's an image, drop an image, play panel, image, done. You just start dropping stuff in, but then you have to start figuring out how to hotkey locations. And I don't want to hotkey locations. I want to just have objects on the screen that make out. So I thought of making a.
The gods may judge.
Is a new character? Hero showcase. Erlang Shen. Huh. All right. This. Notice. Oh my gosh. I have now signed in a total of, I don't know, 120 days. I guess. 122 days? Is that what that is? Yeah, 122 days. No, this goes to 120 because this is day, or maybe I'm on this one. I don't know. Oh. Oh, I'm on 180 plus. I guess they're not tracking that anymore. I'm just in the 180 plus. Total of 182 days. Considering I did 180 days probably within about 200 days. Now I'm like 180 days in about 400 days. In other words, I got to this area about almost within 7 months probably. And now it's been another 5 months since then. So yeah, I'm a little, I gotta click through everything just to get to the, this is a free to play for you. All right. All right, so you can see this is the 3D kind of terrain I'm looking at. Or so now I don't want to do it with, I wish I could zoom out. I really want to zoom out, but for some reason I thought it was smaller than this. What is this dude? They got a dude in here, a little flying guinea pig? What the heck? But see how they have the buildings around, the mountains around you? I kind of want to do this, except instead of having people and stuff, I would have, you know, houses around here and a stadium. And maybe there'll be mountains behind it all, like this. I mean, I like this setup. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same, but I'm just saying, just, you know, my stadium could be this rock, and then I have a couple different buildings around it, and maybe I have water onto one side or whatever. Just give it a 3D imagey feel is what I'm saying. And this is not flat. You know, this is, I mean, I guess I could put mountain assets down, but, and it's got trees in the background. But, you know, this would be like a big 3D image. Yeah, there's people moving, but you can click on all these, right? So clicking on him again, anything. I mean, I guess it does. It does let you click. It shows you that you're clicking him. But you can also click on actual objects. Like in my case, you'd be clicking on buildings, which strangely enough I guess you click, I guess you can only click on people. Objects. These objects are dead. Oh, nope, guess not. That's not dead. So that's a thing. Some areas are actual things. Some areas you're just clicking on people. Click on people, click on people, click on dragon, object. These are all new. I don't know what any of these things are. I have never played these hallmarks. So they're really adding stuff into this game. Even since I played it last. This is definitely a gotcha game. It's fun, but you spend more time doing all the little wonky things than actually playing the game. I mean, the quest is, it's basically the games. I don't want to say it's not tower defense. I mean, it's, well, I guess it is kind of tower defense. You're protecting a space, and then there's an alternate version of the demon thing here where you actually attack and you're the tower base. You're basically the attackers on the tower, but it's kind of like a tower defense. Monsters, your team versus whatever creatures they're sending, which though they can shoot back at your guys, they're just trying to push through to, conquer whatever it is you're protecting. But see, I am not sure that a flat plane will give me the cool area effect I want. I am shooting for something similar to a launcher of realms. Realms? Does. Let's see here. As you can see, they have a 3D scene for their home page. In their case, characters are clickable as well as some of the objects. I will be using buildings as my clickable objects, but I like the way this looks like a beach. I want to create something similar, but as a fantasy escape. Maybe some mountains in the background. Stadium in the middle. As explained before, I don't know how a flat feature was plain short of grass material is going to achieve this. Now note that they kind of went fairly hyper realistic. Theirs is I do have Pro Builder. Click new shape. Let's see what they say for, it says that Pro Builder has an option. So let's try Pro Builder. I'll get rid of my terrain for the moment. All right, so let's go. Use it to create a custom ground shape. Window, Pro Builder, window. Window. I don't know what they're talking about. Pro Builder. Okay. And Pro Builder is not under window. And their window menu. And Bezzy's way out of date, man. It doesn't know unless if you're using the latest version of Unity. Ah, Bezzy, you need to catch up to the times. Alright, so we'll go Tools, Pro Builder. You should see options like Pro Builder window, new shape, material. Nope. Is there a new shape? There's materials. Pro Builder. At the image I gave you. Pro Builder window is expanded. There is no Pro Builder menu is expanded. There is no Pro Builder window. Oh, Bezzy. Bezzy's a quitter. Bezzy's like, you know what? You know, it won't tell you it can't do something. It just gives up. It goes, you know what? Let's try this instead. Let's not use Pro Builder. I'm sure Pro Builder probably hasn't gotten rid of the option. I just don't think. What if I go here? Seems like editors, right? Create shape. What did it say? Ground was the thing it said it wanted. I was thinking. Edit. Create shape. Poly shape. Light map. Material editor. Smoothing. Object. Well, I obviously can't do any of those. Is it a create shape? What did it want me to do with the Pro Builder? Ground texture. New shape, material editor. All right, let's try that. Pro Builder, editors, create shape. Say material editor, is that what it says? Oh, there it is, material editor. All right. Okay, I found the material editor and Pro Builder. What now? So it said recommended use Pro Builder, but then it says there's this other thing. The terrain is the proper way. It says the option 1, Pro Builder ground, easier, recommended for beginners. Option 2, use a detailed ground material, fastest. Actually use terrain, proper way. Let's make terrain work. Here's how to actually resize it in UE6. Keep your terrain game object. In your project window, find the terrain data asset. It's called new terrain with the green mountain icon. I am bouncing all over the place. I am okay with any object that works. That's my thing. That is my rule. Anything that'll give me what I want. Keep your terrain game object. In your project window, find the terrain data asset. It's called new terrain with the green mountain icon. Okay. In your project window, find the terrain data asset. Can I search here? So if I renamed this, would it change on there? So I know which one I'm working with here. 3D terrain. That didn't help me at all. Oh, new terrain too. Okay. All right. Keep it terrain. New terrain with the green mountains. Yep, that's not a green mountain, but I found it. Select the asset, not the game object. In the inspector, you might need to click Edit Terrain Settings or look for an expandable section. Or in the terrain game object, look for settings icon. Looks like sliders in the toolbar with the brush icons. Can't find settings? Try this. Select terrain game object. Look at the toolbar with icons, paint trees, etc. Looks like a gear settings. That should show terrain settings, including size. Alright, let's go see. This is weird. It doesn't have anything. The terrain. Is that a material? Asset. Inspector shows nothing. That's weird. Why would it even have this asset like that? How do people do this stuff, man? I'm just so in awe of artists, people who are creative like that. Okay. So try this again. Try another option. Set the transform values of my plane. 0, -10, 313. Oh, yeah, they're saying 313. No, let's go 3. I don't care. Let's just make it bigger. Create a ground material. In the project window, navigate to assets material. Create the loader. Right click on this. Name it ground grass. I have that. Select the material, then inspector. Make a shader is used to set up. Okay, select the material, then in inspector. All right, we go to material. I have my football field grass. Well, I should probably copy this. And we're going to call this one home screen grass. Now, I don't like my grass, but I figure I can replace that later. So, hopefully with any luck. Hey Nintendo, how's it going? So, I derailed myself a little for graphical beautyism. Beautifying? Graphical beautifying? Notice how great my home screen looks now? Just kidding. I still have my original home screen. But here's the thing. I don't want my original home screen. I want a cooler home screen. So now I'm making my life more difficult. This is, you know, my original just, what do you call it? 3D rendered home screen. And I've decided I want to try and make that. Oh, by the way, I got my roster loading. Now I got stuff loading. It's not perfect, but all the cards are showing up for all the players. It's kind of cool. It's not fully, I mean, there's a lot of things I have to remap some of the values, and there's a couple of little quirks about it, but I finally got it loading. So now I've got a roster page, game plan page, home page. I feel like cleaning that up won't be too big of a deal. It's really going to be the manipulating of it. That's going to be the bigger part of that. But making that progress. I implemented, I finally got my full air handling system. It's a system, what I call it? System logging, which basically allows me to trap and capture all system messages, including debug and console messages in the database. This will allow me to trace errors that come up for the users on production. So I can like turn it on in production and it'll save trace elements of what's going on in areas that might be creating errors. So it traps them in the database, and I can go look and see, well, what's happening? What are people encountering here? And then I also created a unit test system finally that actually allows me to implement it across all my apps, and also lets me run these tests against real data in production by way of trapping, by way of insert and rollback kind of things. So basically it creates dummy data to run through processes and then and then removes those from the system. It'll allow me to run various things throughout production as well. I mean, I wanted to have some way to be able to run tests in production, because sometimes you can't find a bug. You know, somebody tells you and then you go look in your dev code and for some reason you can't replicate, or you don't have the same data set up that's causing it, and it's just easier to look at the actual data. So I got all that running, although it's not fully implemented. Like I've got like 2 services of each done, and in doing that I wiped out my week's Claude usage. It's currently at like 96%. And tomorrow afternoon it comes back. So I knew I've been keeping close tabs on my Claude usage. So I told it, hey, we're almost out of tokens. Record whatever I need to have so I could pick up again when my tokens renew. And it gave me the documentation information I need to be able to pick up right where I left off when I start back up. Yeah, because generating those system logs and error logs and then going through and fixing, tweaking, getting it to function the way I want it to, cleaning it up so it's not creating redundant crap, because it tried to do that a couple times. So I had to go through and step, follow the code, see what's happening, double check what's going on in the code. Because this is all codular, right? This is not front end stuff. Nobody sees this, but hopefully it'll make a difference when it's time to start supporting the app. But in the end, I'm finally getting to that point where I'm sick of seeing this 2D screen. It's funny, when I started, I was like, this is really cool. It's gonna be fun to use this. It's like, now I'm sick of it. It's like, it's 2D, and this is what I want. This is Watch of Realms, right? Now, it ain't gonna look just like this, but I want a 3D affected screen like this. I want to put a stadium, some cottages, stuff you see in that 2D image, but I want it to be a 3D image like this. So this has people and other stuff. I mean, this isn't mine, but I just like the idea of this. It just looks better. And so I want to be able to put my stadium in all the different places that you can go. You click, and instead of people, you'll be clicking on buildings. The same kind of thing. I may have some menu items over time like they do, but it isn't going to be one of these gacha games where you have a bajillion things. But even so, one of the things I think they did pretty well for a gacha game is, stop it, I didn't even close it, there's a ton to do here, right? Lots of pages, lots of things. Some of them even have like multiple tabs, but it's set up in a way where it doesn't feel overwhelming. I mean, it's like, you may not realize that there's probably 100 things to do here, 100 different pages to look at. You go to storage and you can click on all these 5 menus, and you've got these across the top menus. So you're seeing all these different, well, these are filters, but still you're seeing all these different pages and items going on. And it's not that hard to figure out. It's easy to understand how they're maneuvering these things. But then you look at something like a football management game. Like you go to Steam. Yeah, code. And the thing is about AI is if it doesn't, it wants to try something different, it doesn't clean up its other choices. It's like it'll create something and say it's broken. So what it does is it goes, you know what, let's do it this way. And it goes, and it builds a different idea. And maybe the other day works. Maybe it's right. Maybe it solves something. But now you've got orphaned crap. It's like, and then your code just bloats and bloats. And you got to go back and make sure that it's not bloating and it's not screwing stuff up. AI likes to take detours and it doesn't clean things up. Sometimes it'll mark it. I have noticed a couple of places where it says, this is deprecated, use this instead. And I'm like, this is a brand new app. There's no reason to keep deprecated. Just dump it. I understand it's terrified of, it's set up to be safe. It's not deleting something you might want. And plus, maybe you haven't committed to the current paradigm. So if it deletes the old stuff, it's not going to be easy to recover it. I'm getting better at doing my my check-ins though. But look, if you go look at like this. All right, so if I go, this is one of the, let's just say this game is probably top 1 or 2. Okay, so a lot of people say that College Football Dynasty is probably the best football management simulator. Okay. And it's not that expensive. I'm actually thinking of buying it. Not because I want to, well, maybe. I want to play it. I like football, so I'm willing to try things. But one of the things in looking at this, it's got things I don't care for. Yeah. I guess isn't there like a regular, what's the regular homepage? Just take me to the store page. Okay, here we go. All right, so now notice how this one has way more menus here. And then you go to other pages and you've got stuff across the top. And on every one of these, you got stuff in the middle. And you got, it's just so much more. And this ain't even all of it. There's another one here that actually has menu stuff. I guess that one's not too bad as far as that goes. But it's got a lot of stuff on that. And then when you go onto the page itself has little sub-menus. So you could have menus within menus within menus. It's a lot. And I'm trying to figure out how to create my game to be a little less, man, I really hate these images. I think that's one of the complaints people have is they use really bad art images. And they're all pretty much the same body, right? Yeah, they're all the exact same body. It's just they're giving them different heads. I mean, even their logos, they don't make any effort with any of the logos. The logos are just letters. So graphically, it's not the prettiest game, but the idea, people say it's one of the more functional games as far as football goes. It's just got a lot. I just feel like when I'm looking at this, I feel overwhelmed. Like, it's too much. I don't know what I mean, maybe I buy it, I test it out, maybe it's not that bad, but I don't. And then this is a simulation for you. You see how there's just bars? Yeah. But anyway, most people like it for college. Everybody wants them to make a pro version of it. And rumor has it they might be working on one. I don't know. But this just looks like spreadsheet hell, doesn't it? Something about this just looks like spreadsheet upon spread. You know, it's just data points absolutely everywhere. And maybe I can't avoid it. Maybe I'm going to have to do that to some extent. You know, I mean, to have the data that I need to provide, but I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. But in doing so, like I said, they have a lot of information. But so does Watcher of Realms. But when you look at Watcher of Realms, you never feel like you're just looking at a bunch of spreadsheets. Never. I mean, you're looking at, my game's going to be kind of like this. I mean, my cards aren't as pretty. But I'm going to have basically what looks like cards for your characters, which I really think this is awesome. Maybe at some point some artists will come along and help me make cooler card base. But right now my cards look okay. You know, they're going to suffice. But and then you go to like your heroes here, right? And even the heroes, they're like cards. But it doesn't look like a spreadsheet. I don't know. It just feels more gamey. Like you look at this and it feels like a game. Like you get in there and yeah, you've got lots and lots of things you can do. You're messing with the gear and the awakens, and it's doing all the same stuff the football game is doing, but it's just more gamey. It feels less like looking at a spreadsheet. And I'd be willing to bet these guys, they probably have as many pages of information here. It just doesn't feel like it. Because I started counting through all these tabs and all the different menus that each one of these tabs have. Now, granted, if you take all the pay-to-play garbage out, it probably would cut it in half. But even then, there's still a lot. You know, you go inside, and then each one of these you can go in, and they have their own. They have some game areas, right? But you know, there's menus upon menus and everywhere too. So it's not like they don't have the stuff. It just doesn't feel that way. And I want my game to have this kind of a feel, where you feel like you're in a game. Yeah, there's icons and pages and stuff to look at. But if you can identify the navigations, come up with a good navigation system, which is what I'm hoping for. And so like I want to have a 3D home like this. And then like, or you can click on people to go into menus. See again, you know, just, they use cards, not lists, not spreadsheet. Not just, it doesn't say kook. And the only time I ever see like a spreadsheet is when I go to heroes here. This is kind of spreadsheety. If I go to, can I even find out remember where it is? I haven't played it so long. This is kind of spreadsheety, but it's big and visual, and it's a list of stuff, but it's not terrible. Where is the, is it promotion? Maybe it's promotion. No? It's something about selling your guys back. Oh, is this one? Oh, that's dismissing them. Huh? Oh, I don't know. Oh man, they've added a lot of stuff to this game. And it hasn't been that long since I stopped playing, I think, but they've added a lot. Oh, maybe is it this one? Ah, there we go. Okay, so this kind of looks a little spreadsheety, right? You just got lots of spreadsheet of stuff. But it's, again, it's big, it's solid. Visually, it doesn't hurt your eyes because you're not looking at a list of numbers and letters. You do have to have that sometimes, but I don't know. Why can't it be this? Is what game online? Oh, this game? This is a Watcher of Realms. Yes, it's an online game. It's a server game. But I don't think that precludes why it can't be set up like this.
Their souls are mine to take.
Now, okay, so these awesome looking images and stuff, I'm not doing that. I mean, that's out of my wheelhouse. I'm never going to have characters that look like that, but that's okay. It's not what my game is about. That's not the point. But I just like the feel of the navigation on a game like this. And this is the kind of thing. And it's not to say that there's not similar options elsewhere, right? I mean, there's other games that do the same kind of thing. I like this idea too. Like if you click on a building, it's like this one is kind of the equivalent of one of my panels, right? Like I have this panel with this might be like my roster page, right? Like I have all of my players, and then the sorting. This kind of looks like my roster page in a way. Yeah. Oh, I was in a guild, but I got kicked out because I wasn't playing. But this might be my filters, and I do. I have my quarterbacks, my wide receivers, all the different players that you could have, and they show up here. And then you can click on this, and it'll give you a zoom in, and that's kind of what mine will do. It zooms in on the card, and you get this, except again, totally different information and layout. But but it's a 3D, I mean, it's a 2D image, really. It's just a 2D image with a 3D guy sitting on it, which I really like the idea of having a 3D guy. What I wanted to do was put my characters, once I have the 3D models done, on the card, it'll be like a little the 3D character on the card. But right now I'm just using images. But that's what I'm shooting for, because it just looks better. It's fun to look at. I want to have like an achievements page that kind of just shows you all the achievements you can have. And they actually have one of those here somewhere. Is it this thing? Nope. There is a, is it this thing? I totally lost where they have their achievements. I thought it was... Oh, it might be this. I just completed a lot of them. I think that might be what it is. So yeah, there was the main story thing that yeah, they got rid of it because they have this thing. They have this thing now. I like this too. I want to be able to do something, not this exact thing, but I want to be able to give achievement rewards. So as you get further along, you get rewards that are applicable to the game. And that is the plan for my achievement thing. Because I want to be able to have the free-to-play people be able to get most of what you can get by any other means, but it just takes a little longer because you got to actually play to do it. It's not gonna just be yours for forever. But like this is kind of spreadsheety, but all this is telling you who the top players in the guild are. Is that really, I mean, and it doesn't overwhelm you with data, right? It's got 4 options. It's who this guy, and this is, oh, these are the guilds themselves, but still, it just gives you the basics, stuff you need, nothing massive. Anyway, that's what I'm telling you. This just feels better than whatever this is. Now, again, I don't know that I can make mine graphically all that much better, but this is very plain, very plain. They didn't use any images at all. It's just squares and data. It's about as basic as you get for layout. Now, people like this game. It's great because a management game doesn't need a lot of stuff, right? But, I mean, as far as graphics go. But don't you want to kind of enjoy looking at it? Get that feel of you're in a world of what you're doing? I don't know. I don't think any of them are all that great. Now, again, that's why I started creating my own, because I don't really feel like anybody has managed this. So Draft Day Sports, I've heard, is okay. I think they actually implement kind of a, they do have players on their field, but it's kind of weird. See, is this one still coming out? There's a 25 version. 3 user reviews. They don't have a lot of user reviews. This is kind of a 2D game. A lot of people are doing this stuff. I think every one of these games has this, either press or what do you call it? Review guys, draft. These whole things are cool. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to do anything like that. That might be a version 2 or something. I do plan to have a draft, but I don't think I'm going to be graphically implementing anything like this, just because I don't think I can get it done in a reasonable time. You got to pick your battles, man. I want functionality, but I can't do it all. But this is a thing. Where is I want to show you this. Where are they? It's front office football. This front office football is probably considered number 2 as far as football games go. But it is a professional game. Okay, so they're based on true. But look at this. Look at this thing here. Team spend, build, upgrade, roster value. Oh, they have. This is all the features they have, which is great to a point. But there is a funny comment to me that I thought was just indicative of what this is, the biggest problems. I love the idea they have weather in there, but that's something I want to do somehow. Oh, yeah, look. Team and league overview screens. Among nearly 200 screens in front office football. 200 screens. 200 screens. Frickin' A. That's a lot of screens. The new team overview. Among them are the new team overview and league overview screens, which act as front pages for your universe. Among the 200 screens. That's just so much. They do have front office football models, 1,100 metropolitan areas in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Cities in 322 of these areas can host franchises. Yeesh. Why are they... Okay, if you can only put franchises in 322 locations, why did they model 1,100? Why would you go through the trouble of modeling 1,100 metropolitan areas if you can only host in 322 of them? Is that like if you were going to do like a world game and you can go travel and maybe play a game there, but you can't host a game? I don't know. That seems weird. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. This is overkill. I mean, I don't, you know what? One of the underrated games on Android is called The Program. I've played it a couple times. You've probably seen my videos recently where I've been playing The Program. It has maybe 20 screens. And that's if I count the filtered screens. Your main play screens, it's got maybe six main play screens. You've got the screen that has your schedule information, team stuff, which, by the way, one of the problems they have is they don't keep history beyond. I mean, they'll tell you what season you're in, and you can't even look back and know what your record was the last couple of seasons. There's like no history of your past. So basically it's remember it or forget it, but there's no recording it, which is lame. So I can't go back and look to see how well I did. How did I perform against previous teams in the past? And short of it telling you, which it tells you like when you run a game, it'll tell you how many, what's your record against that team. Whatever. But so yeah, that's its biggest fallback. It doesn't really keep very good records of anything, and I don't know what it does track, but the main thing is scouting. Honestly, the program's biggest catch is scouting. For me, it just seems to be the one thing that keeps me coming back. Something about getting the players and bringing them in, and then trying to build them up as the season goes on. But you've got training, which is poorly implemented. I mean, okay, let's be fair. It's not poorly implemented. It's just very basic, and it doesn't feel like you're coaching your whole team. You get to pick some players, and they get a chance at maybe getting better. If not, it's nothing. It's all or nothing with everything on there. So anyway, I'm complaining about other people's games. I'm just telling you what I want to not be versus what I want to be, and what I'm shooting for versus what exists. Anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get this to be more gamey. So I've been letting Bezzy kind of give me an idea how to do this. And create a ground material. So this is Bezzy's idea of, let's close this. So Bezzy's kind of been giving me a little bit of a walkthrough how to set this up. And we'll see if I can manage it. So I already have grass. Select the material, then in inspector. All right, so if I go to my, oh yeah, I needed to change, I said home screen grass. Let's go here and change. Let's go put this on here instead. And then it says create now material, blah, 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 click right click. Select the material, then inspector. Make sure shader is set to universal render pipeline. Is it? I think it is. Yeah, universal render pipeline lit. Base map, color box, the white square. Green or use hex. Let's see what kind of green there is. I want something more fantasy green. That's not quite the green I'm looking for. This is not the green you're looking for. All right, so right click on the material file number 74, 124, 78. 74, whoops. 74, 124, 78. That's green too. I mean, that feels like the wrong green. It's not fantasy green. I want something more. Oh yeah. Apparently, I didn't know this, but Unity has a rule that it can get darker, but it can't get lighter. I didn't know that. So if you're taking green away from a green surface, all you can do is get to the same surface. That's kind of weird. I was unaware of such interesting rules. But see, I can't really change much because these are all light. Huh. I'll probably have to find a grass that I like better, but for now, I'll just leave it. Click the base map color, click on the set smoothness to about 0.2. 0.2, really? Oh, that's drag the material from project window onto your ground. You should see a green panel. Yeah. Set up the camera. Position your navigation camera in hierarchy. Select home navigation panel or whatever you named it. I already have that. Field of view 55. Field of view. Field of view. Oh, it's already 60. It's not that big of a difference. Priority 10. I don't think 55 is going to change much. Check your view. Select the camera in hierarchy. Click the camera preview. Cool. It looks cool, but I need to put some sky in the background. Create and fill light sky. Yeah, good idea. Create and fill light sky. Right click on 3D home screen. Da 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 da. Light and directional. I have a light directional. I have a directional light. Rename it to fill light sky. Okay, maybe I need another one. So we'll go to here. Light. Directional light. And this one's going to be called, what did it say? Fill light sky. Fill light sky. How about fill sky light? I like to say what the object is last and then what the definition of it is. Set transform 3150 3150. In the light component color, go blue. All right, we'll try it. 150. 180. 230. Okay. That's kind of sky-like. Intensity 0.4. Really? 0.4 only. Shadow type, no shadows. Okay. So you say. Was that this thing? I don't know. I don't look any different, honestly. I have a main light and I have a main fill light. Oh, it does. I didn't even notice. It's blue in the background now. I mean, it looks very generic in the background, but at least it's not gray. I didn't even notice that. It's got color now. Ooh. Add a skybox for atmosphere. What the heck is a skybox? And I've seen that before. That whole, maybe is that the area that the sky is sitting in? So the objects on there, the cubes, they're supposed to be my buildings. I mean, I'm going to put assets in there, but it told me to change their colors so I can tell them apart. They're not going to be there that long. I'm just putting them in there for markers. I don't know how they do a texture. I'm going to change this. I don't know. It's got to be something. There's something. I don't like it. I have a feeling this ain't big enough either. I'm pretty sure that's not going to fit my screen in my houses, but let's go find some assets. Oh my gosh. The Denver Broncos. That had a Sunday. The Broncos brought back Brandon Johnson to the practice squad. Knowing that Johnson's nose champagne, I find so good. Nose champagne, so good. Insurance. I don't know if I wonder if Denver's getting back. Nope. Let's see. No, what about like going forward? Of course, we don't know that. Right, that's dumb. Doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Fantasy, buildings, Unity, assets. Now, there are some, but they're like $25. They're more. There's some that are even more. I'm just... See, here's a question, too. I mean, these are very fantasy-like. I think they're okay. I actually do want more cartoony. I don't know why. I feel like I want it cartoony. I don't want 3D realism. I don't know why. A lot of people might say, no, use 3D realism. But I don't know that I want 3D realism. I really don't. I feel like I like... I'm trying to purposely lean towards a more cartoony look. And something about this. There might be other options, but I'm just saying these buildings don't work for me because they're just the wrong buildings. But and I like that. I don't know what am I gonna do with a mine. It's cool, but I have no use for a mine. And the tower, I don't know what I would do with the tower. This is interesting. That's kind of like, it's kind of stadium-like, right? This could be my, this could be a training area for my, this could be the training area. I don't know how much you can edit these things or even if that's plausible, but I would like to have these be like a model. Like if I had somebody who knew what they were doing, say, take this and turn it into like a football training area. Like maybe they run, somewhere where there'd be tackling dummies and stuff like that. Parts and bits. I don't know why. I really just like the idea of a cartoony look. I don't know. It's what's sticking with my mind right now. And that's part of the problem why I don't like my 2D scene, because it no longer fits the aesthetic I'm shooting for. How much are theirs? Whoa! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! $350. Holy monolians, dude. That's out of my... That is like way out of my my budgetary constraints. Even if I was going to pay something. Oh, that's the one. I'm gonna look at some of these. Holy cow, what is the assets though? These are just images. Those aren't assets. Or is that what you're paying for? You're paying for images? Are those assets? I want assets, man. Oh, I guess these are kind of sorted. These are just image assets though. How about buildings? Really, all I want is like buildings. I feel like those are still a little too, I don't know, too realistic. They're not cartoony enough. There's a huge difference in cartoon quality. Unity award sale. Let me see fantasy. Let's look up fantasy. What's a good asset style? Fantasy Town. $70. Yikes. What is the... I guess I got to know what my styling is. There's policy. Poly fantasy style. See, that might be good, but it's $100, man. It's so much more than I need. Because I'm not building an entire game. I just need some buildings. They have building parts. If I want to just build my buildings up in pieces. Oh, see, those are good. Those are nice. I want this. Can I have just this? I just want these ones. I don't want the rest of them. I don't know. Let's see here. Fantasy poly. I think poly usually is lower quality, more cartoony. Poly fantasy buildings. Because I don't need all the other stuff. I'm not building an entire game world. I just need one little set of stuff, man. Just what I need, man. Just give me what I need, man. Little young'un. Stop trying to throw all that stuff down on me that I don't need. I don't need any of that crazy stuff. That's too much. That's too low poly. We went low poly and smashed into the ground. They are cheaper though. Don't need interiors. Well, maybe I don't need interiors. I don't need interiors. I want to tell myself I don't need interiors. But it could make it kind of cool to have an interior. That is kind of a cool image. But I could maybe... Oh, they even have scrolls. Oh, scrolls would be such a good scene. I don't need a bedroom. But these are images. Are they images? Oh, it's low poly 3D art. That doesn't help me. I don't want... I mean, I guess I could put... package content. I don't know, man. Because I have visuals in my head. I want... Why am I doing this? Why? Why am I doing this, Ken? Why are you doing this to yourself? Oh, a lot of... Oh, look at that. Those are some... This comes with buildings and... These are nice, but I don't know if I can spend $60 on them. I need placeholder ones. I can come back and buy better ones later. $110 buildings. I just want the buildings. All right, so I have to be cheap. Let's try free poly fantasy buildings, building assets. I gotta be cheap, man. I can't afford to be anything but cheap for during the design phase. You know, if I can get to the point where I can upgrade with fancier assets because my Kickstarter kicks off and succeeds, or people start backing my game early, then yeah, I could think of that stuff. But I'm guessing the quality is going to be pretty low, and I get it. It's hard to expect a lot when you're trying to do stuff on the cheap, but let's see here. Some pretty talented people. I mean, just building this stuff, I think it's just the amount of time and effort, and I really hate the idea that I have to go free. But this is props. What is? Oh, come on. A lot of comments. Using Asset Forge, these can be turned into 2D sprites. Thanks. What are all you getting? They are fully compatible with the modular terrain pack. Hi, can this... I know it can be clear since you've made these, but I was wondering if you'd mind either adding window props. Huh. Oh. Oh, I see the problem. All right. I hate. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should stop. Let's just see what free shows on here. I'm sorry, guys. I hate not paying you, but I don't have any money. I'm so poor. I've got to come up with money because I would love to buy stuff. It's always better. Nope, nothing here for town exteriors. Medieval house. Maybe that's the problem. That's the thing that's going to keep me from doing this idea of mine. I won't be able to actually get the assets, and since I have no idea or have even an inkling how. Alexa, turn on desk lamp. I like that they have a guy walking around to show you the houses. It's modular, but what does that mean exactly? Can you make different houses out of it? I mean, I guess you could take the parts and build it, right? Like you put them all in where you want them and some extra walls and extra spots to build it. Create your own. I'm probably biting. I'm biting off too much. You know, and the problem is if you buy it and go, yeah, this doesn't do it for me. You're out $60, $100, whatever it is. There is, I think there's even tools you can explain what you want and ask it and have it give you, like you can do it AI. Let's go look at AI. AI text to asset. Mesh, you can do some. I mean, it's just like any 3D model, right? Is it really number one? I am not that impressed by Meshi most of the time.
video we're once again using Mesh AI, the revolutionary text to 3D AI tool. Link is in the description. Last time we generated over 60 high quality characters, monsters and objects for a game that I'm working on, and I'll be posting the update on the game next week. Today we'll be testing Mesh AI again, and this time I wanted to generate a cartoon style farming game to see how well Mesh handles those kind of designs. First I generated a character, we meshed it, and since I'm using the Pro plan, I was able to add animations. Then I generated some chickens, cows and pigs. However, Mesh AI currently only supports a walking animation meant for dogs, but I decided not to add any animations for those animals, but I still included them in the game. After that I generated a fence, house, barn, trees and apples. I also wanted to generate some wheat crops, but wasn't able to get a good result. Perhaps I didn't describe it clearly enough, so I decided to try image to 3D generation. I went to the Unity asset store, found a 2D image of the wheat, uploaded it to Mesh AI and generated a 3D version. Next I downloaded all the objects and started designing the game. In total I spent 2 hours on the project, including generating all the objects, designing the game and adding some scripts. Everything you see over here has been generated with Mesh AI, except for the ground and dirt blocks, which I created using Unity cubes and changed their color. For the character I added a simple script for walking, running and punching. The character can also pick up wheat crops and recover hunger by eating apples. I then added a script for the tree so it grows apples. If the player punches the tree, the apples fall down and they can be picked up. I also created a script for the dirt so that wheat is placed on top when the game starts. Normally creating all of those objects for a game like this would take me multiple days, but with Mesh AI I was able to generate everything, design the game and add scripts in just 2 hours. Of course the tool isn't perfect yet and will improve over time. Here are some issues that I ran into while working on this project. Some of the problems might be due to my inexperience with prompting. For example, when generating the apple with the prompt apple cartoon, Mesh AI generated a very good apple mesh, but when I started texturing it, Mesh AI kept generating the apple logo. I fixed this by adding a second prompt specifically for texturing, which included apple fruit. Since I removed the cartoon keyboard during the texturing process, Mesh AI generated a high quality texture for the apple. To make it match the style, I slightly lowered the texture quality in Unity by changing the material color to red. I also had some issues with the bone texture, which looks a bit off when viewed from the side. I hope this will improve in the future versions. Additionally, I hope Mesh AI adds more animal animations in the future. Despite those areas for improvement, I still believe Mesh AI is an amazing tool, and it has shown that it can not only generate high quality characters, but also characters in different styles. That's it for this project. Next week I will give you an update on the game that I've been generating assets for in the previous video. If you'd like to see that, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will...
I know, I'm probably... It's not...
Why is everyone using image transfers? Image transfers definitely killing them. Quality, design.
Why do people not flip their video? How hard is it to flip your video, people? There's no reason. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Just flip it over the other way so your stuff looks like it's forward to the people who are looking at it. Come on.
Release, and this revolutionary text to 3D AI tool is better than ever. Mesh is currently the best text to 3D AI tool on the market, allowing you to create full texture 3D objects like characters, monsters, weapons, buildings, and more in just minutes simply by inputting a text prompt. But that's not all. Mesh also allows you to remesh your objects, read your characters, and even add animations to them. If you'd like to try it, check out the link in the description.
I haven't been. I guess I've only used, what is it called? Trippo? I've used Trippo for 3D images, 3D animations. I'm tempted to try Mesh AI again. Mesh AI doesn't let you download or do anything. I mean, I don't know. What is the price of Mesh AI? I don't know. I gotta look. Basically, you get credits. That's all it is. It's kind of like Audible, really. You get a bunch of credits, you use them up, you're done until the next month. So Pro is the basic. You get for $10. You get 1,000 monthly credits. That's actually not bad. Build yearly, 120 today. So for 120 bucks, you get a year's worth of credits off of Mesh AI. But you're really giving Mesh AI the whole job, right? Because you can't afford to be buying a bunch of different services. So it says here that I can do 440 credits right out. And I might not be able to. Let's go see what it can do for some 3D assets. Let's see, image, text to 3D. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to try to be as descriptive as I can. I need a fantasy. See, the problem here too is AI has no idea how to do a football field. It just can't do it. I need a fantasy style football stadium. It's now this is just no, let's just stick with the cottage. I have it. I have a stadium. I need a fantasy style cottage building that would effectively replace a modern office, a modern two-story office building. It should fit in a world that uses, it should fit the aesthetic of characters. Now I have this little thing that I've been using. Of this description of this art style. I don't need an A pose. This is a batch image to 3D. Can I do two? Oh, nope. See, Meshi had a hard time giving me 3D models for some of my characters. That's why I'm a little apprehensive of trying it for the pay version. I want to see what it comes up with for my building, though. Problem is, too, when you build an asset, it's a glob, right? There's no interior. Don't really need an interior, so I was thinking I'd click on it and then a screen would pop up, which is kind of what a lot of them are anyway. But I'm not having a person walk around into these areas. If it can build me a couple of options, couple of things I like, then I can see maybe paying and dropping them in. I could just take one and just drop it in everywhere. Make some big, some small. Let's see, what does this say? Oh, that's Meshi 6. Is Meshi current version of Meshi? It's actually a pretty good price, though. It seems like everybody seems to, looking at YouTube, everybody seems to give Meshi the top spot. Slow it's not, though. I think it's slower when you're not paying too. So if I click on this, this is one of my models I had it built, but again, see how I had to do some animations. It did okay, I guess, for my 3D model, but it really kind of has a weird, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So this is supposed to be skeletal. I don't know what the heck these things are on his chest, though. So this guy's a skeleton. He is what I call oh look, he's got weird fingers. His fingers are stretching weird there. He's walking around with fists. And his cape is kind of stuck to his helmet, but I think ultimately I should probably I should build the characters without clothing, without helmets, without anything, and then those should just be assets, but I haven't figured out how to do that. Because not everybody has the same size head, so how do I do that? Build helmet assets. Are we stuck? Kind of looks like we're stuck, huh? It queued me up and said, we're going to put everybody and their grandmother ahead of you. So these are some of the characters I've created with Meshy. This is, look how weird his head is. It's hollow. He's got no brains. He's got no anything. He's just an empty hat. He's definitely plastic. His whole underpart looks like it's been busted out, like he was made up of a very thin material and it broke. But this is the somebody samurai. That's who he's supposed to be. Now these are one of my. Oh what? They got rid of my characters? They don't like them. Apparently they're too old. I no longer. I didn't qualify for a long-term hold. I don't know if that's gonna finish. It was too hard. And these are the snakes. And look how terrible their tails came out. Oh god. I thought it'd be cool. The snakes are a cool. Oh wait, did it finish finally? No. Oh, it's up to 70 though. It went from 69 to 70 in only 10 minutes. I think I like the idea of the snakes, but I haven't been able to figure out how to get a tail because the tails are all screwed up. Yeah, this one, it's a forked tail. That one, this is honestly the one that comes closest is this one as far as the tail goes because it does wrap around, but you can see that it's actually broken in the middle there, between there where it's supposed to connect to the bottom. It's not quite right. So theoretically, the best way would be to have a long singular tail and then add animations that pull it in close. But I don't have that. So you can see the break between the back of the tail and the roll around. And these two on the right are really weird. Actually, all of them are weird, except all of them are kind of weird, really. And overall, the heads are pretty nasty too. So Meshy's not totally great. I don't know if it's ever going to get past this. Right. Oh my gosh, it's 5:30. I gotta take a break. Dang it. Maybe that's why I'm drifting off here. I gotta make progress on this. I'll work on it.